Welcome to my channel, The Canine Code. Your senior dog just did something that stopped you in your tracks. Maybe they paused at the top of the stairs, looking back at you with eyes that seemed to hold an entire conversation. Maybe they pressed their graying muzzle into your hand and held it there longer than usual with a weight you felt in your chest. Most people see these moments as signs of aging, nothing more. But what if these behaviors aren't about getting old at all? What if your senior dog is speaking a language you've never fully understood, and the message they're sending will change everything you thought you knew about your bond? Subscribe to the channel because what you're about to learn about senior dogs will make you see every gray hair, every slower step, every lingering look in a completely different light. Number 1. The pause that speaks volumes. Senior dogs stop in doorways, and most owners think it's arthritis or confusion. But research from canine behavioral scientists reveals something far more intentional happening in these threshold moments. When your aging dog pauses before entering a room where you are, their brain is processing social information at a level that younger dogs rarely access. Studies published in animal cognition journals show that senior dogs demonstrate what ornithologists call deliberate approach behavior, where the dog consciously evaluates the emotional state of their human before deciding how to enter the space. Your dog's olfactory system, which has spent years cataloging your unique scent signatures in different emotional states, can now detect the microscopic chemical changes in your sweat and breath that indicate stress, sadness, or joy from across the room. That pause isn't hesitation from physical limitation. It's your dog reading you, deciding whether you need comfort, space, or companionship, and calibrating their approach accordingly. Their eyes during that pause are scanning your face for micro-expressions, their tilted head processing the tone of sounds in the room, their entire body becoming a receiving antenna for your emotional frequency. This behavior intensifies with age because your senior dog has accumulated thousands of hours of studying you, building a database of what every shift in your posture, every change in your voice, every alteration in your routine might mean when they finally move forward. They're not just walking into a room, they're walking into your emotional space with full knowledge of what they'll find there, having made a conscious choice about how to meet you in that moment. Number 2. The shadow who follows your every move. Your senior dog follows you from room to room now more than they ever did as a young dog. And the reason isn't separation anxiety or it's the manifestation of a biological imperative that strengthens as dogs age. Research on canine pack behavior shows that older dogs in multi-generational groups take on what scientists call social monitoring roles, where their primary function shifts from physical activity to relationship maintenance. Your dog's brain, flooded with years of oxytocin bonding, that has literally rewired their neural pathways to find your presence neurochemically rewarding, now experiences your absence as a form of sensory deprivation. When they pad after you to the kitchen, then to the bathroom, then back to the living room, they're not being clingy. They're fulfilling what their biology has programmed them to do: maintain proximity to their primary attachment figure. Because in the ancestral pack structure that still governs their instincts, the aging dog's survival depended on staying close to the group's center. But there's something deeper happening that most owners never realize. Your senior dog is also keeping watch over you, the protector role inverted by age, but not diminished. Behavioral scientists have documented that senior dogs position themselves in rooms to maintain visual contact with their humans while also monitoring entry points, a dual-purpose positioning that serves both their need for connection and their enduring drive to ensure your safety. The tremor in their legs as they stand up for the 5th time to follow you isn't just physical weakness, it's the physical cost they're willing to pay, because the emotional cost of losing sight of you, even for a moment, has become unbearable. Number 3. The touch that lasts just a little too long. When your senior dog leans against your leg and doesn't move away, or when they rest their head on your knee and the weight of it seems heavier than it should be, you're experiencing what veterinary behaviorists call sustained contact seeking. And it's one of the most profound communications an aging dog can offer. Studies measuring canine parasympathetic nervous system responses show that physical contact with their primary human creates a measurable cascade of calming hormones in senior dogs that younger dogs don't exhibit to the same degree because the neural pathways responsible for this response have been deepened and reinforced by years of positive contact. Your dog isn't just touching you for comfort. They're completing a circuit that their nervous system now requires, a biological loop where your warmth against their body triggers the release of endorphins and oxytocin that actually reduce the inflammation in there aging joints and calm the anxiety centers in their brain. But what makes this touch different in senior dogs is the intention behind it. Research using eye tracking technology and cortisol measurement has revealed that when a senior dog initiates prolonged physical contact, they're simultaneously monitoring your response, gauging whether you'll stay or pull away, testing whether you still welcome their presence the way you did when they were younger and more useful. That extra 3 seconds they keep their head on your lap, that additional pressure they add when leaning against you, That's not random. It's your dog asking a question they need answered. Do you still want me here now that I can't run as fast, play as hard, or guard as fiercely? When you rest your hand on their graying head and leave it there, you're answering in the only language that matters to them. Number 4, the stare that holds an entire lifetime. Your senior dog looks at you differently now. And if you've noticed it, you've witnessed one of the most researched phenomena in canine aging studies. When a senior dog holds eye contact with their human for extended periods, often with a soft, unfocused quality to their gaze, they're engaging in what scientists call affiliative gazing. And brain imaging studies show this behavior triggers a positive feedback loop of oxytocin, releasing both the dog and the human that actually synchronizes your heart rates. But the stare of a senior dog carries information that the gaze of a young dog cannot. Researchers studying canine cognition across the lifespan have discovered that senior dogs demonstrate what they term reflective observation, where the dog appears to be not just looking at you but processing the accumulated history of your relationship through the visual stimulus of your face. The dog's aging brain, which has stored thousands of interactions with you in its long-term memory centers, activates these memory networks when they look at you, essentially reviewing your shared history in real time. This is why the quality of a senior dog's gaze feels different, why it seems to carry weight and meaning that makes you pause. They're not just seeing you as you are right now. They're seeing you as you were when you first brought them home, when you came back after that long trip, when you sat with them through that illness, when you celebrated that achievement, when you cried over that loss. Behavioral scientists have documented that senior dogs spend significantly more time in this affiliative gazing during periods when their humans are stressed or sad, suggesting that the behavior serves a dual purpose of both self-soothing for the dog and attempted comfort giving to the human. When your senior dog locks eyes with you and doesn't look away, they're telling you they remember everything, they see everything, and they're still here, bearing witness to your life the way they've always done. Number 5, the gift of their vulnerability. Your senior dog shows you their pain now in ways they never did when they were young. And this isn't weakness or loss of stoicism. It's trust at its most fundamental level. Research on pain expression in aging dogs reveals that senior dogs who have secure attachments to their humans will display discomfort signals openly, limping when they hurt, vocalizing when they're stiff, seeking comfort during episodes of pain, while dogs with insecure attachments continue hiding their suffering even in old age. When your dog limps to you with their arthritis flaring, when they whine softly as they settle into their bed, when they look at you with eyes that plead for help getting up the stairs, they're offering you something wild animals never offer: vulnerability without fear of abandonment. Veterinary behaviorists, studying the human-dog bond across the canine lifespan, have found that the willingness to show weakness to a human is actually a measure of relationship quality because it requires the dog to override millions of years of evolutionary programming that says, hide your injury or be left behind by the pack. Your senior dog's choice to let you see their struggle, to ask for your help, to trust that you won't reject them for being unable to do what they once could, represents the deepest level of faith one creature can place in another. Every time they wait for you to lift them into the car instead of trying to jump. Every time they wake you in the night because they need to go out and can't hold it until morning. Every time they lean on you going down the stairs, they're saying, I trust you to still love me when I can't be strong. I trust you to help me instead of leaving me. I trust you to see my weakness and meet it with gentleness. This trust, built over years and now expressed through their aging body, is the most sacred thing they can give you. Number 6, the peace they've finally found. Your senior dog sleeps differently now, deeper and more completely in your presence than they ever did before. And sleep research in aging dogs shows this isn't just fatigue, it's the physical manifestation of absolute security. When a dog enters deep in sleep, their parasympathetic nervous system takes over. Their muscles relax completely and they enter a state of profound vulnerability where they cannot quickly respond to threats. Studies using polyomnography on senior dogs have documented that dogs only enter this deep sleep state regularly when their amygdala, the brain's fear center, has essentially learned that their environment is safe, a learning process that takes years to complete. Your senior dog sprawled on their side in the sunlight, paws twitching in dreams, breath coming in those soft, woofing sounds, has reached a state that many dogs never achieve. Complete trust that they are safe, that you will watch over them while they're defenseless, that they can surrender fully to rest without maintaining any vigilance at all. Behavioral scientists, studying canine sleep patterns across age groups, found that senior dogs with strong human attachments spend significantly more time in restorative deep sleep than senior dogs in shelters or unstable homes, suggesting that the quality of the bond directly impacts the dog's ability to physically recover and heal through sleep. But there's something even more profound happening when your senior dog chooses to sleep. touching you, or in the same room, or positioned where they can see you even with their eyes closed. They're not sleeping near you because they need you to protect them. After years of being your protector, your alarm system, your guardian, they finally accepted that you can keep watch for both of you. And that surrender, that willingness to let you be the strong one while they rest, is a gift that says, I've spent my life trying to keep you safe, and now I trust you enough to let you keep me safe. When you watch them sleep with that deep, trusting peace, you're seeing the harvest of every moment you've invested in their security. Every time you came home when you said you would, every time you fed them when they were hungry, every time you comforted them when they were afraid, all of it accumulating into this single moment where your dog can finally completely rest. Number 7, the gratitude you can almost touch. Your senior dog has started doing something that seems small but carries an emotional weight that's hard to describe. They thank you now for the ordinary things they used to take for granted. When you fill their water bowl, they look up at you before drinking. When you put their food down, they pause and make eye contact before eating. When you open the door to let them out, they stop in the threshold and glance back. Research on canine cognitive development in senior dogs shows that aging actually enhances what scientists call social referencing behavior, where the dog checks in with their human during routine activities. And this increase isn't cognitive decline, it's cognitive deepening. Your dog's brain has spent years building associations between your actions and their well-being, creating neural pathways that connect your hands, filling the bowl with the satisfaction of their thirst, your voice calling them with the joy of your attention, your presence in the room with their fundamental sense of safety. Now, in their senior years, these connections have become so strong that the anticipatory activity in their brain when you perform these caretaking acts actually triggers the same reward centers as the acts themselves. When your senior dog pauses to look at you before enjoying what you've given them, they're not being hesitant or confused. They're savoring the connection between the gift and the giver, acknowledging that every bowl of food, every open door, every gentle word comes from you, the center of their universe. Behavioral studies tracking gratitude, like behaviors in aging dogs, have documented that this acknowledgement behavior increases proportionally with the dog's age and the stability of the relationship, appearing most frequently in senior dogs who have spent their entire lives with the same human. What looks like a simple glance is actually your dog saying, I know this came from you. I know you chose to care for me. I know I depend on you, and I see you. I recognize you. I acknowledge the bond between what you do and what I receive. In a species that cannot speak our language, this moment of eye contact before accepting care is as close to thank you as biology allows. Every behavior you've just learned about, every pause, every touch, every stare, every moment of vulnerability, every peaceful sleep, every glance of gratitude, they've all been building toward a single truth that transforms how you see your senior dog. These aren't signs of decline. They're signs of a relationship that has matured past the excitement of play and the energy of youth into something deeper, something that humans spend entire lifetimes trying to achieve with other humans and rarely do. Unconditional presence, absolute trust, mutual recognition of dependence, gratitude for the ordinary, and peace in vulnerability. Your senior dog, with their gray muzzle and slower gait and cloudy eyes, has become a master of connection. And every behavior that made you pause, every moment that tugged at your heart, was them showing you what love looks like when it's been refined by time and tested by change. When your dog pauses at the door and looks back at you, they're not just checking if you're following. Thanks for watching my VIDE. Subscribe to the channel. Take care.